Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. How are you all doing? Of course, I'm still going to come later on for the gist, but I wanted to give a little preaching service here, and I wanted us to talk about something very, very commonplace in today's church. So I wanted us to take a look at the rise of the Yahoo pastor. The rise of the Yahoo pastor. Pastorpreneurship. And why Nigerians keep falling victim. Why Nigerians keep falling victim. Hey, let me pick this guy's call. Sorry. Amy, I go send them now. Just give me like 30 minutes. No vex, eh? Let's talk about this. You see, as long as Nigerians continue to think the way Nigerians have been thinking, we will continue having this problem. This problem will persist. Sorry, guys. I don't like the angle at which YouTube is balanced, so let me just prop it up a bit. Yes, so YouTube can see me better. Facebook, TikTok, how are you all doing? Double click my screen if you're watching on TikTok. Oh, hope you guys are doing well. Someone said watching with my cold small stout. I need to talk about this because last time we gathered here, I spoke about three things: the soothsayers, the magicians, and the fortune tellers. I was watching a testimony. All you need to do is watch these people's testimonies, and you realize how godless these pastors are. It's like me saying there are 200 and something people listening to my voice on Instagram. It's like me saying this week somebody is going to be blessed. Imagine how vague that statement is. And I receive it, I receive it, I receive it. And out of 200 or 300 people that are watching me right now, somebody runs into some good fortune. Automatically that person will tie into my message and say, Daddy Freeze, you said it. Oh, man of God, man of God. You see, this has become an epidemic. I was watching a clown give a testimony about finding some money somewhere and about a pastor making a declaration that there will be something in somebody's office. If you imagine that to be a prophecy, first of all, the person that posted it and the person that received, I said, how have we sunken into such an abyss? How have we devolved at such a pace that things like this are even attractive to us? Let us pray. Heavenly Father, I come before you to thank you for everything you've done in our lives. I worship and I glorify you. I bless and I praise you. I ask for your wisdom, your knowledge, and your understanding, O Lord. In Yahushua's name I pray. Amen. There was a time in my life when, God bless you, Sam Clef. He says, is their faith that made them whole. You see, there was a time in my life when I used to go around looking for prophets and seers. I've been there before. when things were not adding up in my life, and the first thing I wanted was clarity, and I started seeking for dreams and interpretations and prophets and all. But you see, let me tell you what I learned over the years. I learned to allow God to take control. I don't pray for revelation. I pray for revelation with regards to the word and whatever God decides to reveal to me. But there was a time when I used to want to know everything, and I realized that the more you try to know, the more you confuse yourself. And I'm going to give you an example. A friend of mine discovered that a close person to me discovered that they had cancer, and discovered early by making sure that they're on top of their any evolution in their body. And yes, it cost a bit of money, but you see, of course, at the end of the day, they were able to take care of the stuff. None of the pastors around them saw it. None of the prophets, none of the soothsayers, nobody saw it. And I ask, when are we going to get to people who are going to actually see? Even though I don't believe in seeing, I believe in results. I believe in having a connection with God within you, so he guides you. What you are looking for is, let me give you an example. Yeah, you're on a plane. I've been on a plane before, and we're descending in bad weather, and we miss the localizer. If you know how to align, if you know how you align a plane, a 737, when you're coming into the localizer, you have to arm the forelock and capture the localizer. Then when you capture the localizer, you now proceed to capture the glide slope. So what they thought was the localizer, apparently the localizer in the airport was faulty. So what they thought was the localizer was actually left off the runway. And because of, there's something that happens a lot in aviation, it's called fixation. One of the pilots, it was very bad weather, the localizer was having issues. One of the pilots was actually, I have this video, I recorded this on video. One of the pilots was peeping out of the cockpit looking for the runway, while the other one was wrestling with the yoke to try to balance the airplane back, because what they thought was the localizer was not the localizer, and they bogged the wrong speed. So I'm sitting behind them in the cockpit. I can see the throttle. Whatever you bog for the auto throttle is what the auto throttle will give you. The plane started alarming, almost going into a stall. The pilot was too busy wrestling with the controls to direct to align the plane. The other one was too busy looking for the runway. And I was behind them. I could see that all they needed was speed. So I was whispering because I didn't want my voice captured in what's that thing called, black box recording. So I was saying speed, speed, speed. Watch speed now. I could see it because I was sitting behind the throttle. And I was counting in my head. If I count 10 and nobody touches this throttle, I'm going to push it. Luckily, one of them quickly, oh, thank you. And they adjusted the speed. 10 seconds later, it could have been a serious consequence. Why am I telling you this story? When the plane landed, I walked into the cockpit, into the cabin, and greeted my friends after. I said, how was the flight? They said it was so beautiful. Ignorance is bliss. They did not know what happened in the inner workings of the cockpit. The flight was smooth, there was no turbulence, everything was okay. They did not know that 10 seconds more, stall recovery at 2,000 feet, you don't even want to go inside it. If that plane had entered the stall recovery is nosedive, pitch down into the stall, gather speed, and then climb out. It would have been the worst experience you would have ever had. Why am I telling you this story? That's how God works sometimes. I came out of the, I was like, the pilots were like, whoa, what just happened? I was like, whoa, thank God. The cabin people were like, oh, it was a great flight. Sometimes in life, it is good for you to be that cabin passenger. Sometimes it is good for you to be. God is in control. If you knew what was ahead of you, you will not even enter the aeroplane in the first place. But you see, God's got you. I need you to have, instead of looking for prophets up and down, they'll tell you, that plane you want to enter, something will happen, then you now not enter the plane. Meanwhile, that thing that wants to happen, God has taken care of it. It will not even get to you. You will not even know it happened. I'll give another example. Another day I was in the cockpit with my friends who are pilots, and we ran into turbulence. I had just gotten out of the cockpit to go and eat because I was very hungry. So where I was eating, Baba, we entered one of the worst turbulences I've seen in my life. Aeroplane turned to church. Aeroplane turned to church. Rebete, rabatas, kerebes, karaba, roboche, rabata, rebete. I shall finish eating my food. Plane was literally falling from the sky like this at cruising altitude. So there was like a 5-minute break. They got out of the clouds and the captain turned off the seatbelt sign. So I got off and went back to the cockpit and sat down inside. We now entered part 2 of the turbulence. Part 2 was not even worse than part 1. The captain was dancing as the plane goes like he danced. Hey, hey, hey. The co-pilot was now telling the co-pilot, hold this thing now, hold it. Now, can't you hold it? They were laughing. I was like, because of ignorance, what is not really a problem becomes a problem. And what really is a problem, because you don't know, you have no knowledge of it, is taken casually. You see, you can feel turbulence. You cannot feel until it happens that a plane is about to enter a stall. You can't feel it. You will not know. Until it enters the stall, that's when you know. But you see, a plane about to enter a stall is 10 times more dangerous than a plane flying through turbulence. What you are looking for is somebody that is going to tell you where the turbulence is. But you see, the scriptures say, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of Topai, you walk through the valley of that shadow every day. You walk through the valley every single day. The more you start looking for prophets to explain things to you, the more they will confuse your situation. Sometimes all you need is trust your instincts. You see, when they say God is in you, the book of Thomas says, look around you. Look around you. You will find me there. The book of Thomas did not make the Bible, but I want to quote book of Thomas for you right now. Listen to this. I think it's 77b. I have to forward the book of Thomas to you guys. You guys have to read it. You'll finish reading it today. It's not that long. All of you have to read it. I think it's 77b. 77 says, Yahushua says, I am the light that is over all. I am the all. The all came forth out of me, and to me the all has come. Split a piece of wood, I am there. Lift the stone, and you will find me there. Lift the stone, split a wood, I am there. Lift the wood, pick the stone, you will see me inside. So if Christ is under a stone and inside a wood, now imagine you that are the embodiment of his body. You are in, he is in you. Many of us have lost touch with our inner abilities because we are listening to these pastors. I lost somebody in my family. I'll send it to you, Bukola. I lost somebody in my family who had breast cancer, was discovered early stage, went from prophet to prophet, from seer to seer, from traditionalist to traditionalist. Everybody told her that she stepped on poison. And they prayed and told her that if she goes to church, she will lose her life. And they prayed and they prayed. We buried her this year. Young woman who had no business losing her life. We buried her this year. You are looking for prophecies. That's the problem. You see, if God wants to give you a prophecy, he will give it to you. Stop going around looking. Stop gathering and listening to all these comedians. You have 10,000 people watching your Instagram live as a pastor, and you make a declaration. This week, somebody has been looking for the fruit of the womb, will get the fruit of the womb. You now tap into it. Like another 2,000 people tapped into it, forgetting the many years of IVF, forgetting the many years of you trying, and then you get pregnant. And glory be to the God. What you are doing is you are free marketing for that pastor's ministry. Russell, you've been raptured. You are selling a man's office. You don't understand. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Russell, I don't rapture him. What do you do for a living? Let me tell you, yeah, some people are so far gone they can't be saved. If you believe that's a testimony. Somebody sent a testimony to me today about all these vague testimonies. I saw a plane crash once in a dream, and the date was revealed to me in the dream, 12th of June. And I told people that there was going to be a plane crash on the 12th of June. And there was a plane, on the 3rd of June. And there was that Dana airplane crash on the 3rd of June. And I said the plane was going to fly into buildings and people were going to burn on the 3rd of June. I told them 2 months before it happened because I saw it. After that experience, I've spoken about this experience several times before. I have all the pastors that were there, all of them said, one guy said that he saw several accidents, and there was a road, and the road, people were having accidents. I said, how can you not, if I could see a plane crash down to the date, and you are supposed to be my spiritual father, and you are telling me you saw accidents, me and you who they see clear pass. Some of you have lost your anointing. Some of you have lost the God in you because you have submitted to inferior gods. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think in the UK, in France, in Germany, this religious model does not work? Why do you think so? All your Nigerian pastors, I don't want to mention names, all of them go abroad and they gather 5,000 people. Look at the crowd. You'll be lucky to see 2% Oyinbo. It is still us now. We poverty mentality has consumed us so much, and what you don't understand is poverty and religious mentality. Poverty mentality and religious mentality, they go hand in hand. As long as you think poor, you'll be religious. As long as you are religious, you will think poor. The fact that you have a car does not mean you have poverty. You don't have poverty mentality. So the first liberation out of the shackles of religion is change the way you think. Until you are able to change the way you think, you will continue. And let me tell you something here. This whole idea of, I tell people all the time, God will favor me. God will favor me. My case is different. That is why Nigeria is the way it is. The most successful countries on earth, nobody's case is different too. Everybody's case is the same. For you to have your case to be different is maybe you are born with an unusually high IQ or an unusually high ability like Cristiano Ronaldo, who can play football more than anybody else and has also dedicated his whole life to playing football. Those are the people that have it. But your case is going to be exactly the case of everybody else. Nobody's case is different in the Netherlands. You will work like everybody else. You will pay taxes like everybody else. If you have 3 children, the amount of money you'll be able to save will be different from if you have just one. Functional countries, I'm talking about Luxembourg, I'm talking about Holland, I'm talking about Liechtenstein, I'm talking about Austria, Hungary. These countries work, they function. Nobody's case is different unless you won the lottery. Nobody's case is different. You, just like everybody else, are going to be entitled to just the same thing, and that's the remedy for solution for society. That is it. That's why they have low crime rate. That is why in the Netherlands they don't have enough prisoners, so they borrow prisoners from other countries to come and fill their prisons. That is why in Sweden they give children allowance to buy toys, 200 euro a month. Allowance to buy, not for food. Before they can give your child toy allowance, they first of all got to take care of feeding, electricity, all the things that are important in a child's life. Romania is one of the poorest countries in Europe. Education is free from the day you are born till when you are about to enter university. It's only a university education that you pay for in Romania. Education is free. Let me tell you something about Romania, yeah? Women get 2-year maternity leaves in Romania. I'm not saying Romania is rich, but I'm saying these are the things they do to encourage their citizens. They get 2-year maternity leave. 2 years, so you can take care of your child. Now, while you're at home, the government will pay you 40% of your salary while your employer is mandated to pay you another 40%. Here's what that means. If you are earning 100,000 naira a month, the government will pay you 40k and your employer will pay you 40k. So you'll be collecting 80k a month for 2 years while you raise your child at home. 2 freaking years. Ask anybody that's lived in Romania before. Every pregnant woman, from the pregnant cleaner to the pregnant bank manager, they are all entitled to exactly the same thing. Somebody said they will come back pregnant from maternity leave. Romania is actually looking for people to have more children. They are underpopulated. In 1960, they were 18 million. Today, they are 19 million. Within the same time, Nigeria grew from 45 million to 221 million. Romania went from 18 million to 19 million. So if you sit at home and have more children, the government is happy. They need workforce. So one of the first signs that a government is working is not the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis and the Rolls Royces and the Bentleys and the private jets. It's the buses. A society that works, you can tell from the buses, you can tell from the train, the tube. You can tell from the transportation sector for everyone. Let me break your heart. If you are going into central London on a bus during rush hour, you might get there quicker than if you go with a Ferrari. Do you know that in central London now, you cannot drive above 20? I just entered central London the other day. We're in our Benz. We just got to central London. The guy now started driving slowly. I said, Baba, waiting the happen. He said, no. Say for central London, you cannot drive more than 20 kilometers per hour. While you are stuck in that traffic, you will see bus pass using bus lane. If you can't get money say you can afford to use the tube, Baba. just say you want to go to Piccadilly and you have Ferrari and you want to drive your Ferrari to Piccadilly. Baba, where you go park? Meanwhile, there is a train station directly under that same Piccadilly. So if you go by train, you come out at Piccadilly. If you go by car, you will park. You will now walk like 2 kilometers before you will get to the Piccadilly. Bus passes right, if there's a bus stop right in front of that Piccadilly. As you are seeing that TDK in front of you like this, bus will stop there. So a society that works does not make anybody special. A good society, evidence of a good society is equality. Evidence of poverty is one person driving Ferrari and splashing water on people standing at the bus waiting to enter bus. That's evidence of failure, not success. So when pastors gather their people and make them feel that God is going to make you special, what they are getting into your mind is you will end up being like Nigerian politicians. That is why your politicians are sharing money today. They are sharing money today while poverty, they said they will increase minimum wage. Have they increased it? But then for the holiday, some people are going to get. I was on Insta blog today. I saw Akpabio announcing that everybody's going to get. How many of you Nigerians? How many of you are getting holiday allowance? But you see, it doesn't start with the politicians. It starts with the mindset. You have created a situation where it is okay for some people to do well, and it is okay for some people not to do well, just by the way your mind conjures your reality. Ask yourself, Nigerians, sit down and pray every day. And your pastors will preach into your life. They will say, unmerited favor will locate you. Unmerited promotion will locate you. You are now angry that you have the kind of leaders you have. They got there by unmerited promotion. How many leaders in Nigeria merit to be in the office they are in? You see, when you pray a prayer for unmerited favor, what you are doing is you are mentally creating an opportunity for it. Let me tell you something here. Do you realize how powerful your mind is? Let me give you an example. I want a new car. What do? I go and start reading about new cars. I go and start reading about new cars. The car I want, I go and start reading about it. Do you understand? Oh, I like it. How much is it? How much will it cost to land it? How much will it cost to clear it? I start talking to one or two car dealers. You understand what I'm saying? It will amaze you to find out that within a year you have created provision for that thing. That's how powerful your mind is. Your mind is automatically, without you knowing, unconsciously reevaluating things. Okay, so if you want to get a new car by the end of the year, you have to have this amount of money. Let's say you start YouTubing the car, God bless you. Let's say you have to have $100,000 or $150,000. In Nigeria, it's cash down, $170,000 cash. You don't have the money, but you start looking at, okay, this person is owing me money. If he pays me this money, I'll set this money aside. You'll be amazed that your mind is going to start compartmentalizing. As long as you really want it and your mind is convinced that you want it, your mind will start drawing you towards making it happen. That's how powerful your mind is. For me, it happens all the time. Now, when you are now prayerful and you now pray about it, what you are doing is you are syncing your spirit with your mind. Your mind is already focused on it. So you are syncing your spirit. Like there are many modern cars that have a sync button. You program your, like sometimes I'm driving out. Tastes saying like, oh, the AC is too cold. Reduce it a bit. So she reduces the temperature of her own side to maybe 70 degrees while my own is on low. Then I drive her to the hairdressing salon. I'm cool. I want the car to be cooler, but because she's my passenger, I now say, okay, no problem. I will drop her off at the hairdressing salon. The moment I drop her off, I just click sync. The two start blowing cold again. Just try it on your Mercedes, your BMW, your new cars. That sync button, when you pray, what your prayer does is it syncs with your mind. Your mind wants something, you pray, your spirit is now synced with your mind. You now realize that you start gravitating towards that thing. It could be a car, it could be a house, it could be a wife. It might not happen within a year or 2 years, but let me tell you something here. I've always said I'm going to live on the island. I've always said I'm going to live. I can't live. Why? Because now I work from home. So maybe it wouldn't have mattered if I lived in Ikorodu or if I lived in Banana Island because I work from home. But there was a time in my life where I worked in VI, like most people worked in VI. And most people who worked in VI came from Surulere and Ikeja and Festac and Satellite Town. And they used to spend the whole day in traffic. And a friend of mine who used to work in Cool FM at that time managed to arrange some money for himself. And he was launching his house. And his house was in Festac. And he was doing housewarming, so we drove to Festac for this housewarming. It was like going to Ibadan. We're on the road the whole day. We finally got there. We could not spend more than 2 hours with him. We now had to start going back, and we're going back the whole day. So I sat down and I thought about it. He had a lovely house in the middle of Festac, but he worked in VI. So every morning you have to leave your lovely, beautiful, amazing house by 4:30. If not, you'll be caught in traffic. Then you leave work by 6 o'clock or 5:30 and you are in traffic for 3.5 hours. Sorry, somebody's calling me. Yeah, hello? Sorry, let me call you back. Yes, I know. I'm live. If you are watching now, Seth, I'm live. Please don't be angry. I'll call you back. You know what I'm talking about? So, I just thought about it. At that time, I was staying with my family in a 2-bedroom house. I had a wife, 2 kids. What the house was like a normal VI duplex. They cut it into two. They just divided it into two. And upstairs was shared by 2 families, and I stayed in the ground floor of a VI house. So we had a full-size parlor, we had a full-size dining, we had a full-size kitchen, but you know the room downstairs is always tiny, so we had a very tiny room, and then we had to carve out part of the house for another room. So we ended up having 2 rooms, tiny little rooms. We had only 1 bathroom, and we had just 1 toilet. But we had a big standard size parlor with a big standard size kitchen and a big standard size sitting room. I lived there and I was happy. My ex used to say, no, let's go and get a house. Let's go and get a house. I'm like, why do I can't, at that time, I couldn't afford to live in Lekki. So I will now go to Festac to get a house, and then I'll spend my whole life going to and coming from traffic. My car will be destroyed. I'm like, no. Then one day my ex came and said she wants to buy land, that they are selling land in her office, that she's buying land in Mowe. Am I interested? I said, am I interested in land in Mowe? I said, where is Mowe? They say around Redeem Camp. I said, this one is even worse than Ikorodu. Yeah. You are not even asking me if I'm interested in land in Surulere. You are not asking me if I'm interested in land in Aja. You are not even asking me in Yaba. It is Mowe, as in I will get out of Lagos. Why don't I go buy land in Ibadan? Why don't I just count my money and go and buy land in Ibadan? Guess what? As of that time, I had 2 cars. I bought both of them brand new. I could afford, but you see, I could afford 7 million naira to buy house. Sorry, to buy 2 cars, because then I remember buying my Camry for about 4 million brand new, and then my ex's car for about 3.5 million or 3.3 million. So everything was about 7 point something million. I could afford to raise to buy 2 new cars so I can drive around comfortably, but I did not have land to my name. And a lot of people were like, you don't have land, you don't have land. And I kept thinking, am I going to go and buy land in Mowe because I want to be among the people that have land? To me, what were my priorities then was making sure my kids traveled at least once a year or once every 2 years max, making sure I traveled as often as I could, and I exposed those were my, not buying a house in Mowe. I'm trying to tell you how powerful the mind works. And this went on for a while. My ex had started working on her land. I did not have land. I did not have a single land to my name. Then I thought about buying a Range Rover. I just thought about it. I liked Range Rovers then. That Range Rover, they reigned that year. So I had a friend, I don't know if it's Chima. So Chima came to visit me one day. He was selling Range Rovers. So he came with his Range Rover. I said, Chima, this your Range Rover is nice. So he said, about 7 million can get you this Range Rover, 6.5, 7 million, depending on how clean, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, no problem. I'm interested. Baba, if they count the whole money where I get that time, boya look pay 2 million. And at the high motto of 6.5 to 7.5 million. So I've told you this story, man. I want you to work with me. So a month later, because I told Chima that I wanted to buy Range Rover, I didn't have the money. Chima just called me, said he's outside my office, that he has a distress sale, that he needs 6 million naira now. If I can get him 6 million naira within a week, that I should have the car. I saw the car. I opened the boot. The spare tire was still inside nylon. It had never been used before. I was like, I said, what's happened? At the point, I was even afraid. I thought, is this car stolen? How is this car almost, these back seats were brand new. I was like, This was a 2009 Range Rover in 2012. It was a 3-year-old car. It was clean. I can't begin to look around. My whole money by that time was maybe 2.5 million for my account. I look am. I can't begin to call people. I no get land. Oh. I no get house. Oh. I can't begin to call people. I called my mom. My mom looked at me. My mom said, you want to buy another car? I could not explain it to my mom. But I said, yeah. But I just need her to borrow me money. My mom said, okay, she'll borrow me 500K. My mom sent me 500K, bam. It don't reach 3 million. I went to meet my neighbor then, yo. That's why I go boss your house. I say, yo. I don't see one Range Rover where I'm on buy. I beg, you get 500K. Yo, give me 500K. I never talked this story before. It was not white, it was green. Now, so you carry 500,000 naira. Bagger, give me. Money don't enter 3.5 million. Some people were owing me money. I went to meet them. I started striking contract with them. I said, Baba, since you're owing me this money, why don't you pay me the money double? So let me to be owing you the work. Because you're always owing me the money. I want haggle. Now, so they give me 1.5 million bagger. So from 3.5 million, I don't gather 5 million. As I gather the 5 million, I call Chima. I say, Chima, money don't do my hand. Oh. Bring the car. The money still never completes. It remain 1 million. Oh. Chima, bring the car. Now, when I went to borrow the money from YAH, I told him I will pay him back on Monday. So not only have I entered problem, I'm still owing and the money is not complete. But I knew, I said, okay, I know I'm going to work this out. Baba, now so they deliver the motor. Inside 6 million, you don't drop 5 million. Chima drop the motor. He drop only one key, no drop papers, he no drop spare key. I say, okay, well, I don't day. At least motor in my house. Now they pack. Someone says, is it the you, not you, YAH of Wazobia FM? Someone said, I've seen your Range Rover in VI before. Yes, that was the Range Rover. So, now so they bring the Range Rover come my house. Now I'm owing my mother money. I'm owing your money. I'm owing some people work that I've not yet done. I now look for one of my very close friends, a lady. I now called her up. I now said, look, blah, 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 blah. I need 1.5 million. So she gave me the 1.5 million. I paid YAH his 500K. So I'm owing her 1.5 million. And I'm owing my mom 500K. I look at my mama. I say, now my mama should go wait small. I go hold on for work. Over 6 months. And this lady never disturbed me for the money. So when I get 500K, I will just call her and say, money don't deal. I drop them. Initially, I even wanted to sell my Camry, which I thank God I didn't, to buy because I looked at it. That time I had like 3.5 million. I say, if I sell my Camry, I'll get. So one guy was supposed to buy 3-point-something million. The guy can't come in saying, give me 1 million. He won't spoil the money for my hand. I say, no time for this. Do you know that within 6 months, I had paid everybody, including my mother, the money I borrowed, and I had the car in the compound. It just happened like this. I did not steal anybody's money. I did not dupe anybody. It just happened because my mind was focused on it. Now, I've now told you the story. I was now sitting in my office. Somebody was now saying that, that all these people that have 2 cars in rented houses, that they don't know how they do it. One lady was saying it. She was in news then. She said that she and her husband have both agreed that they will not buy 2 cars in a rented house. You know how many cars I get that time? 4. I had my Camry and my Range. My ex had her brand new Honda City that I bought for her, brand new from Honda Place in VI. And then her old car, we had a Primera that we used to do running around, drive to the market, drive to rough places. That's why I sit down. I said, this person said they're not going to use 2 cars for a rented house. Meanwhile, I don't even have rented house. Let me even break it down to you. The house was office-me house because I'm working there so I can come to work easily. I did not even have a rented house and I had 4 cars. I can't begin look my life say, did I do something wrong? I say anyway, now so make I just work hard, they go. So I was in this was in 2012. I was invited to host the NEAs in New York. I was in New York with AY and Juliet Ibrahim. You know, in 2012, I was the host of the NEA Awards. So while I was there, some people, they disturb my life, say, they need me, to come and do one work. That when I come and do it was some radio company. They needed me to advertise a alcoholic drink. So me, I was in America, my first time in America. Then I was having fun, meeting some nice American ladies. I didn't have their time. I just kept telling them to wait, that they'll be okay. So they now called me and said, look, we'll look for somebody else. And I said, okay, they just give me 3 days now. They should calm down that I'm coming from America. So I don't know, say that my coming from America, I'm in America, I need 3 days. They don't begin to look me like chairman. I don't know. So I just arrived that day. The next day, I now scheduled a meeting with them. We now met up at the agency. I just pulled up in my range. Guess what? My exact range and the range of the Oga of the agency was exactly the same, exactly to the color. So when I just pulled up to the gate, the people for gate think say na Oga motor, they just open gate, they just direct me to go and park where Oga dey park. Now so I go there, go park straight. Came out, looking fresh. I just come back from Yankee, I dey fresh. Baba, the guy just walked up to me. The Oga now came in. He now wanted to start getting upset that why did they give his parking space? So the security were now begging him, please, sorry. The guy now, they now wanted to come and tell me to come and move my car because the guy now said, no, we're sorry. He said, I now introduced myself, I'm Daddy Freeze. Blah, oh, you're the one we've been waiting for. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm so sorry. I was in the US. I had to host an award and I had to, blah, 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 blah. The guy, they look me, said, they go America, go host award. Imagine the whole yarnings. How they go America, go host award, and they drive in kind moto, Baba. We entered that meeting. Anything I talk, they know haggle. They asked me what was my presenter's fee. Presenter fee that time was 5K, 10K. I charged them 100K a show. 100, and that time 100K was about $700, $800. That's how much 100K was. A show every day for 2 years. I just told them that that's how it's going to be. And I was smelling fresh. I was looking fresh. I was driving fresh. I was fresh from America. As in, they did not even say, let's pay 90. They said, okay. When do we start? I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. Baba, I went home that day. Luckily, I had a company that had registered. First check, they paid me 25 million naira. That's why I sit down like this. I look my account. I turned the phone upside down. Whether not 2.5 million, wait the upside down. I take 25 million naira. Ha. Baba, na so work start to. Bidi. First 3 months, I impressed them so much. They said they wanted to go to other states. Now, because I designed the idea for them, I got 30% of the budget. Hey, that's why I sit down like this. Baba, it got to a stage in my life. And I went to one beer parlor down the road to drink. So when we were drinking in the beer parlor, everybody there was talking about how they bought their houses, blah, blah. I can't realize, so boy, I no get house. So I want this one now, I no go get house. I now got up to go and pee by the wall. So when I wanted to pee, I just see one paper. The paper don't turn, sand don't dey there. I just pick the paper, buy a house and pay small. I don't look am. See, wow, pay small house. So I now brought out my phone. The paper was torn, but I could make out the number. I can never forget the girl's name. Her name was Blessing. Call Blessing on her, write her number. It was late. So I shall write down the number. The next morning I said, Blessing, please, I hear people are selling houses. We can buy small in Lekki. Say, yeah, that I should come to the office. I went to the office. They showed me a sample. Oh, this was nice. They said, okay. They now showed me 4 different locations where I can choose. There was one very close to the beach. I felt, this one is too close to the beach. Pirates are coming. At my house, they go first come. I said, no. They showed me one that was close to the beach, but not too close. They showed me like 4 different locations. Finally, I picked one. They said I should pay down payment. I just carried 12 million, give them baga. That was my first down payment. Omo, do you know that? That is how I became a landlord in Lekki. That's how I bought my house that I live in. When I sit down, I thought about it. If I had bought land in Mowe, I would not have bought that Range Rover. I will not have gone to that meeting smelling and looking good. I will not have gone there smelling and looking good. If I had gone and started living in Mowe, I would not have built a house, because then now the money of the Range Rover now I get, now my only money. Maybe I'll have been able to raise maybe another 5 million. So maybe I'll have built a 12 million naira bungalow in Mowe. So as long as my mind rejected that Mowe, say never, I'm not going to follow them live for this place. My mind wanted Lekki, but I could not afford it. But my mind wanted it. So when my eyes were closed, my mind was still working the Lekki house. Somebody says, person we don't get brand and have contacts, don't copy him. Oh. Let me tell you the truth, yeah. As long as you are building yourself, this thing works for people in every profession. I have a friend who's a plastic surgeon. Baba, he dresses well, did body for his wife, carried his wife, contoured her whole body, turned her to Baba. He doesn't need to advertise. See my wife, we look at, oh wow, hey, can I get something like this? Oh, no problem. Hey, 30 million, 20 million, 10 million, 5 million. Brrr. You see, you need to understand social, there's what you call social equity. Social capital, yes? Yeah. You should want what? What else do you have? Have fun for dinner. I'll wait for dinner. My love, are you okay? Now, some guy is coming to come and service her car. So when he comes, I'll call you. Just pick your phone. In every field, some people are telling you, don't listen, don't listen, don't listen. In every field where, let me tell you, my neighbors, I just told you my story. My neighbor moved to my estate about 3 years ago. He was doing averagely okay. He moved from Surulere, just moved here. He had only one car. Now, so when I saw him, I just knew he had a lot of dreams. He was into everything. So there's one joint in not a joint, there's somebody's house in my estate where people go and do exercise. And who is this person at this thing? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Bro, I greet you.
Who be this?
My name is Michael.
Send me message. I'm live. I can't talk. Don't come to beg money. Baba, now so my guy waka come this estate. So there was one house in my estate where they go and early in the morning they go and drink and make noise. They used to call it the parliament. Now so this guy go parliament to go begin gist with them. For that parliament, he meet everybody, and as a sharp marketer, I know that about him. He's very sharp. He come begin to market one of the ideas, say, if you do it like this, you go do it like this, go do it like that. Now he jam one guy. Now he guy talk, say, this your idea, I feel fund them, I feel get capital for them. Are you serious? Blah, 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 blah. As I'm talking to you now, he's in Disneyland with his family. Inside this Nigeria where they hot. He built, I think, 120 houses last year. My neighbor, yeah. He got somebody to fund the idea simply because he changed location. So those of you that are talking, it will not work for you if you want to work as clerk inside Banco. It's not likely that it will work. But you see, when you saw yourself as a brand, you saw yourself as having an ability, you saw yourself, Baba, let me tell you something, yeah. Those days I used to MC for 1 million naira. And they asked me, 1 million naira then was about $7,000. And people ask me, what are you going to do? I say, that's just what I'm going to charge. 1 million naira, you want or you don't want? And I call their bluff. And you'll be amazed that people would rather. One guy said, why am I think it was some bank MD's event. The guy said, so I hope you are going to be well dressed. If we are paying you 1 million, I say, I'll be better dressed than your MD. I don't make mouth new. Now I begin to call all the people I know where they sew cloth. So, Baba, I don't go make mouth. Oh, cut this cloth for me. I need this suit like this. I need this. Baba, on that day, I don't wear everything, join together, put my collar, put everything. No, one guy come meet me and say, Daddy, freeze. You are truly better dressed than our MD. I say, aha. You see, you need to understand that what I'm trying to tell you from all this is the power of the mind. How powerful your mind is. Power of your mind. How powerful your mind is. So when you feed your mind stupidity, your reality will be stupidity. From when I came to Lagos, let me tell you something. I said I was going to live on the island or nowhere else, and it kept happening back to back. I came to Lagos. My salary was 15,000 naira when I joined Cool FM. Everybody told me that I should stop looking for house in Lekki. I should stop looking for house in Ikorodu. Sorry, in Ikoyi. I should go to Ikorodu. I can't sit down and think. I say, I want to be driving down Ikorodu. I say, no. I stayed in my uncle and my auntie's house till they nearly drove me out of the house. One day, my boss in the office just called me, said, move into the Dolphin house, because he saw that I was useful. That's how I started my life. Since I've come to this Lagos, I've never lived anywhere else apart from the island. I will give you my history. I moved to Dolphin Estate, Ikoyi, Koshofe Avenue. That's where my house used to be. I lived there for about a year plus. Then they moved me to Victoria Island. I lived in Victoria Island for 10 years. Bishop Aboyadeko. Then they moved me from Bishop Aboyadeko to 1004. I stayed in 1004 for 2 years. And from 1004, I moved to Lekki, where I've stayed for the last 7 years. Count it. My brain. I said I was never going to live anywhere that is not island. I could not afford it, but it kept happening. Sometimes you can't afford it, but because your mind is thinking in, you are connecting to your universe. You don't know how powerful your mind is. Just your mind alone, then you now decide to add prayer, where you join your spirit with your mind. There's nothing you cannot achieve. There is nothing you cannot achieve. So when you sit down and you shortchange your powerful mind by believing the stupidity testimony of this is going to be like this for you, this is going to be like this for you, you are shortchanging yourself. You are using Rolls Royce money to go and buy Kia. You are shortchanging yourself. While I was at it, I was never lazy. I did not sit in my house and put my leg up. I worked diligently. Night and day. I grinded, or I ground, anyhow you want to say it. But you see, my focus was, because I remember, do you know, my ex told me once, they said, let's go to Mowe and go and look at the land she bought. I no even fit wake up for Saturday morning, say I won't go enter bus where they go Mowe. I no go. I tell us, if you want to go by yourself. I'm not going to Mowe to look at land. I never went to that Mowe for anything. Why? Each time I kept saying, as in that's for me to go and imagine that I now have to live in Mowe and be coming from Mowe to VI. I said never. And it has nothing to do with Christianity. It is just the mind. It happens to Muslims. It happens to pagans. It happens to atheists. It happens to irreligious people. It happens to Buddhists, Shintoists. Your mind is so powerful. Whatever you feed it, it is what it. You see. If you have a Ferrari and you pour normal petrol inside, it will work, but it will not give you that performance. If you pour super unleaded track fuel inside it, it will give you that track performance. So you have to start thinking, and this happens with everything. The moment you continue thinking religious, my case is different, my case is different, my case is different. Let me tell you, that's not how it works. The moment you start praying for unmerited favor, that's when you are creating unconsciously an unmerited favor-based society. That your candidate that is merited for the job will never get there. That candidate that really deserves the job can never get there, because all of you are thinking the same. All your minds are connected and you're all thinking unmerited favor. I'm going to get unmerited favor. I'm going to get unmerited favor. I'm going to get unmerited favor. You are creating the opportunity for unmerited favor. But if you can start training your mind right now, just like I train my mind, I say, Laila, you are not going to live for Ikorodu, I not go live for Mowe. Even if I did poor, I not go live for Ikorodu or Mowe. I not go suffer that suffer. Start training your mind now. There's no unmerited favor. Start thinking it. Equality for every Nigerian. Start thinking it. Start thinking it. Start thinking it. Then you start seeing it manifest, but you cannot think it alone. All of you have to think it together. Equal rights for everyone. Nigeria does not have equal rights. I was reading on Instablog the other day. A man got arrested because he caught his landlord with his wife, and he was sent to prison for 6 years, if not for OPM pastor that went to bail him out. He couldn't afford a lawyer. Abroad, the state to provide a lawyer for you. Nigeria, the state cannot even afford to provide a lawyer for you. So if all of us come together and we say enough is enough, nobody special, including me. My case is not different. My case is the same as everybody else. We are all entitled to equality. We are all entitled to opportunity. How we use the opportunity is what will make me different. Me and you go to Harvard. I come out with top of my class, dean's list. The way I've used my opportunity is different from you that went to chase Sultan of Brunei's daughter in Harvard. More the voice said like Peter Obi, yes, but this is why Peter Obi cannot win. Because instead of you to gather yourselves and think the best, you want unmerited favor. So you have created a society of unmerited favor. I'm sorry to say this, but Peter Obi is not part of this government. But Akpabio is. As in, you created it with the way you think. You have normalized. I'm not going to say much when they don't come begin to phone me. No, someone said my mind is telling me to buy Rolls Royce, but my account is telling me to buy bicycle. It doesn't work like that, too. You'll be amazed that when you inspire yourself, you motivate yourself, and you start to work, you will gravitate. Your mind will. Let me tell you how your mind works. Information. You want to buy a Rolls Royce in your life. You are reading newspaper at a hospital, waiting for your turn to do your checkup, and CNN is playing CNN is different things. When it comes to that Rolls Royce commercial, Rolls Royce don't do commercial, but they bring up a news about Rolls Royce. Your mind will hear it, even though you are reading the newspaper. You are paying attention, waiting for your turn. You are ignoring the CNN. Your mind is going to capture that information about that Rolls Royce. When you go to church or wherever you go, and you see somebody having a Rolls Royce, your mind is going to see it and connect it. Before you know it, your mind will have enough data to connect about Rolls Royce that it can prod you to make a decision. You'll be amazed how it works. Your mind, start training it. And the first thing you need to get out of your mind is religious thinking. Get it out, get it out, get it out. Get it out. Start thinking logically. That's my message for today. And you can never think logically as long as you keep allowing these Yahoo pastors to mess with your brain with their mindless, repetitive, rinse and repeat prophecies. That's not how God works. Look at somebody beside you and tell them, that's not how God works. You want to be exceptional, you have to be exceptional. Be exceptional at whatever you do. Even if it is a street you are sweeping, sweep that street well. Somebody can discover you one day and say, I like the way this person sweeps street. Let him come and sweep my compound. I like the way he sweeps my compound. Let him sweep my office. In fact, do you know Harrison Ford was doing carpentry work on the set when the person that was supposed to come to the set did not come out? I say, okay, you, this one that is even hammering carpenter, I like his body. Oh yeah, come and try it. And he did it and he got, that's how he became a star. Be good at what you do. You will be amazed how the universe will synchronize with you. But as long as you keep thinking you are special and you are looking for what is special, and then you want a society of where special people will excel, Baba, your result is Nigeria. Unmerited promotion. Every 90% of Nigerians are promoted unmerited. So it's not only you that are praying for the unmerited promotion. Okay, yes, you got it, but so did your governor. So did your ministers. So did your president. They all got what you all prayed for. Unmerited promotion. So you that you're meritedly promoted to be a bank clerk, when the real people that are supposed to be blank clerks are not getting job, how are you going to survive when everybody else is incompetent, inept? Someone says it works the same way when you are considering buying a car brand. You'll just be seeing that car brand on the street. God bless you. That's the power of your mind. So thank you so much, all of you who came today. One of my targets in this life is to free you all from religious thinking. I might not be successful at it, but I know I'm going to work very hard. And you need to stay away from fortune tellers. These people are not prophets, they are fortune tellers. These people are not gospel preachers, they are soothsayers. And they are not healers, they are magicians. It's an illusion. Wake up. So thank you so much, everybody that has been watching my live. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen on TikTok. Let me play with my TikTok people a little. Who's my number one gifter? Big shout out to my TikTok family. Oh wow, I have 16,000 likes. Someone said, you shared my thoughts. Do you believe in anything spirituality? Social equity, absolutely. You need to work on that. And also your social capital. You need to work on your gift. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about gift and capital. I need to do a session on gift and capital. Your gift and your capital. Let me jot it down. How to materialize your gift. Someone said Jeff Bezos started selling books and defined how to sell best. Same thing with what's his name? Zuckerberg. He just wanted a networking site. And if you watch the Zuckerberg movie, he didn't care about the money. He just doesn't care about the money. He just wanted this to be the best in the world. Baba, money will come. Money will chase you, literally. Money will pursue you. So double click my screen if you're watching. Hey, somebody sent me a and I didn't even advertise stars on Facebook. Oh, thank you so much. Arabirin Pearly, thank you so much. Nancy Joseph, thank you so much. They sent me 500 stars each on Facebook. Thank you very much. YouTube people, I hope you are enjoying my live, my lovely brothers and sisters on YouTube. Israel Asigbe says, I can relate to what you are saying because my story is just like that. Absolutely. So I'm closing the live in about 2 minutes. Those of you that still want to send super chats and super stickers, big shout out to you. Hey, somebody don't they call me now again? Oh, eh? Okay, I think it's the person who's going to fix the car. Yeah, hello? Yes. Yes, hello? Okay, let me send you a code right now. So that's as far as I can go. What about horoscopes and astrology? We'll talk about that some other time. Let's talk about gifts and capital. How to fund your gift. I think that's a message I need to talk about. I'm not going to make it a Christian message. Hey, somebody just sent me a money gun. Big shout out to you. Lafun Yalaje of Denver. Thank you so much, my sis. Thank you so much. So that is as far as we can go. Hope you guys are cool. I'm going to come back with gist. You know, we always have our gossip sessions. Someone said Alibaba started with nothing. With absolutely nothing. I also started with nothing. I don't even have entertainment in my family. It's not like Dari Atalade or no. I started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're right here, here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're right here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Yala J. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for all the love. If you're watching on TikTok, please double click the screen. Oh, I'm still enjoying you guys. Let's all cut. Yeah. Yes, sir. TikTok people, Facebook, Instagram, thank you all so much. I'm coming back with some hot gist later on. But this was just meant to motivate you and drive away the false notions that false religion creates. I love you guys so much. Thank you once again for joining. We'll be back with our gist later on. Bye-bye, everybody. Somebody said, I never regret buying data to listen to Daddy Freeze instead of buying land in Mowe. Oh, my story would definitely inspire you. Take care and God bless.